Good morning, children. We now begin with Standard 6, English, Lesson 3, Part 1. The name of this lesson is Taro's Reward. So, before we read the lesson, let us read the summary of what this lesson is going to try to say. This is a story about a thoughtful and loving son. He works hard to fulfill his parents' wishes and gets some unexpected help. So, this is a story about a loving and thoughtful son who wants to give everything to his parents to fulfill all their wishes. And at the end of the lesson, he gets some unexpected help. So, let us read. Taro's Reward. A young woodcutter named Taro lived with his mother and father on a lonely hillside. All day long he chopped wood in the forest. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. So what this paragraph says that there was a woodcutter. Woodcutter means who used to cut wood to earn his livelihood. He used to go and sell the wood. So he used to live with his mother and father at a very lonely place, means where there are less people around, and near an hillside, near the side of a hill, he was living with his parents. All day he used to chop wood and then he used to collect that wood and he used to sell that wood and earn very little money. But he used to work the whole day chopping wood, yet he used to earn very little money. This picture shows about Taro, the boy in the pink you can see, and his own mother and father. So the only three were in the house. This made him sad, for he was a thoughtful son and wanted to give his old parents everything they needed. Now, what made Taro sad was that he used to work the whole day and he could not earn more money. And he wanted more money. Why? So that he could fulfill his parents' needs. Whatever they wanted, he wanted to fulfill. But he could not. Why? Because he could not earn more money. One evening, when Taro and his parents were sitting in a corner of their hut, a strong wind began to blow. It whistled through the cracks of the hut, and everyone felt very cold. Suddenly, Taro's father said, "I wish I had a cup of sake. It would warm me and do my old heart good." One evening, suddenly, what happened? All the three were in their hut and it started blowing. Strong winds started blowing. So, the wind started coming into the house, into the hut from the cracks of the wood. So, it became very cold in the hut and everyone started feeling cold. Now, Taro's parents were very old, so they both were feeling more cold, and Taro's father wished that he had sake. Now, this is a Japanese story. So, this sake is a type of a drink that the Japanese they drink when it is very cold. Why do they drink this drink? So that they feel a little warm when it is very cold. So even Taro's father wished that he would have this sake so that he would keep a little warm and he would feel little better. So can you see here, children, the wind is blowing through the cracks in the wood into the hut, and so they are feeling very cold. Taro's parents were feeling very cold. This made Taro sadder than ever, for the heart-warming drink called sake was very expensive. How do I earn more money? He asked himself. How do I get a little sake for my poor old father? He decided to work harder than before. So now Taro felt very sad. Why? Because his father's wish was to drink a little sake to keep himself warm during the cold season. But what was it? Why could Taro not afford this sake? Because this drink was very expensive. Because it used to give the body a little warmness by drinking. So this drink was very expensive. And it was not possible for Taro to buy this expensive drink because he earned a very little working hard the whole day. So he thought that that he would work more harder than before and he would earn more money so that he could buy a little sake for his old father. Next morning, Taro jumped out of the bed earlier than usual and made his way to the forest. He chopped and cut as the sun climbed, and soon he was so warm that he had to take off his jacket. His mouth was dry and his face was wet with sweat. My poor old father, he thought, if only he was as warm as I. And with that, he began to chop even faster, thinking of the extra money he must earn to buy the sake to warm the old man's bones. Now Taro had decided for himself that he would work more hard to earn more money. So the next morning he woke up earlier than what he used to wake up. More early he woke up and he went into the forest and he started chopping wood. Whole day till the afternoon he went on chopping and the sun was right overhead and it had become little hotter at that time. So he was sweating like anything. Why? Because he just wanted to work hard so that he could get more wood and get more money. He was feeling so hot that he removed his jacket. He was even thirsty. His mouth was dry. He didn't have any water or any food. Only he was busy chopping wood. Then he thought that he was so tired so he could relax for a little time. But as soon as he thought of relaxing, he thought of his father, that my father, he's feeling so cold. How can I get him the drink so that he can keep his body a little warm? And he just thought of working extra to get more money, and again he started chopping wood. Then suddenly Taro stopped chopping. What was that? He heard. Could it possibly be rushing water? Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest. He was thirsty. The axe dropped off his hand and he ran in the direction of the sound. Thinking of his father, Taro again started working. But when he started working, suddenly he stopped. Why he stopped? Because he could hear certain sound. Then hearing properly, he understood that the sound is of some rushing water. Rushing water means the water gushing out from somewhere. It was that sound of a water. Then Taro thought for himself that he has never seen any type of water or a stream in the forest. But he was working since morning, so he was very thirsty. So even that axe could not be hold in his hand because he was very tired. So he dropped his axe and he ran towards the sound that he could hear, and he was sure that it was water. So he heard that sound and he ran towards that sound of water. Taro saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. Kneeling at the place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hands and put it to his lips. Was it water or was it sake? He tasted it again and again, and always it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. Taro reached the place where there was a little waterfall. The water was, that sound was coming from there. So he reached that place and he sat down kneeling and he started drinking a little water because he was very thirsty. So he filled it in his hands and he took it up to his mouth to drink it. And when he tasted it, he felt that it was not water. So again he took another in his hands. He took water to drink and he again tasted it. So he felt that this is not water, this is sake. So, and it was so delicious and it was not water and it was sake. So now he was very happy. Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. The old man was delighted with sake. Now, as soon as even Taro felt that this is not water, this is sake, that what he wanted for his old father. So quickly he filled the pitcher. Pitcher is what you can see, something that we fill water in. In the olden days, they used to fill, it was like a pot. So he used to carry for drinking water every day. So he filled that with this sake. Why he filled it? So that he could go and give his own father, and so that he could drink and feel little warm. So you can see in the picture, he's drinking that water and then he's got that pitcher with him on his waist and he fills it with sake. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. So as soon as Taro filled the pitcher with sake from the waterfall, he ran home to give it to his old father. So his old father took a sip of sake, and as soon as he drank it, he stopped shivering from cold and he became so active that he started dancing in the middle of the house. That afternoon, a neighbor stopped by for a visit. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the sake. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. Thanking them for the delicious drink, she left in a hurry. By nightfall, she had spread the story throughout the whole village. The afternoon that Taro had taken the drink home, a lady from the village had come to visit to their place. So when she came, Taro's father offered her also the cup of sake. So it was a delicious drink that the people of Japan over there, they like to drink. So even she enjoyed this cup of drink and she drank it very fast and greedily. Then Taro told her that from where he had got this sake, that there was a waterfall in the forest and he has brought it from there. So the lady thanked them for this cup of drink and she left from their home in a very fast, in a hurry. And then by the time it was night, the story of this waterfall, that it was giving sake, was spread throughout the whole village. That evening, there was a long procession of visitors to the woodcutter's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of sake. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. Now, as soon as the lady, when she left the house of Taro, she was spreading this story to all whom she was meeting in the village. So by evening, there was a long line outside Taro's house. Why had they come there? They all had come to just have a sip of this drink. And Taro was also offering everybody. But within an hour, less than an hour, all the sake was over from the pitcher. Next morning, Taro started for work even earlier than the morning before. He carried with him the largest pitcher he owned, for he intended first of all to go to the waterfall. When he reached it, he found to his great surprise all his neighbors there. They were carrying pitchers, jars, buckets, anything they could find to hold the magic sake. Then one villager knelt and held his mouth under the waterfall to drink. He drank again and again, and then shouted angrily, "Water! Nothing but water!" Others also tried, but there was no sake, only cold water. Next morning, Taro woke up more earlier than the previous day, and he went to the forest carrying a very big pitcher which he had in his house so that he could go and fill sake for his father. He had decided that first he would go to the waterfall and fill the sake in his pitcher. But as soon as he reached the waterfall, to his surprise, he saw that there was a long line of all his neighbors. They were carrying buckets and pitchers and jars, and they had all come there to fill sake from the waterfall. Now, suddenly, one man from the line, the villagers, they knelt down to drink a little of sake from the waterfall. He kept on drinking over and over again, and it gave only the taste of water. So he shouted angrily that this is not sake, this is only water. Then another villager, even he tried to drink and taste that what it was. So even he found that it was only cold water and there was no sake in this waterfall. So here you can see a long line with all jars and buckets and pictures. All the neighbors of Taro are standing in a line to fill the sake that they wanted from the waterfall. And Taro is looking at them from behind certain rock. "We have been tricked," shouted the villagers. "Where is Taro? Let us drown him in this waterfall." But Taro had been wise enough to slip behind a rock when he saw how things were going on. He was nowhere to be found. When the villagers tasted the water and they found that it was not sake and it was normal cold water, they all got angry and they thought that they were all tricked by Taro. He had told them a wrong story. So they all thought that let us catch him and throw him in this water, in this waterfall, and let him drown in this water. So now Taro was behind the rocks and he was watching what everything was happening. So he did not come out from there and he slipped from all the hands of the villagers and he was not to be found anywhere. They were all searching for him. Muttering their anger and disappointment, the villagers left the place one by one. Taro came out from the hiding place. Was it true? He wondered. Was the sake a dream? Once more he caught a little liquid in his hand and put it to his lips. It was the same sake. To the thoughtful son, the magic waterfall gave the delicious sake. To everyone else, it gave only cold water. All the villagers were very angry. They were searching for Taro, but he was not to be found. So, with their anger and disappointment, they all left the place in the forest where the waterfall was. One by one, they started going home. Now, as soon as they all left, Taro came out from the place where he was hiding behind the rock. He thought that yesterday when he took that water and he tasted it, so it was sake. Then how is it possible that the other villagers, when they tasted, they found it water? He thought that was it a dream? Then again, even he went to confirm that whether this water is really normal water or whether it was sake. So again he lifted a little water in his hands and he tried to drink it. So it was the same sake. So this was a magic waterfall which gave only taro sake. For others, it was normal water. Why? Because he was very much considerate about his parents. He was very thoughtful about his parents. So it was a magic waterfall that gave him sake. The story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. He sent for the young woodcutter and rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold for having been so good and kind. Then he named the most beautiful fountain in the city after Taro. This, said the emperor, was to encourage all children to honor and obey their parents. So this story of waterfall, that it gave normal water to others and it gave sake only to Taro, spread throughout Japan. Now this story even reached to the emperor of Japan. So he sent for Taro. Taro was called by the emperor to his palace and he gave a reward to Taro. Why? Because he felt that Taro was an honest and a hard-working and a very thoughtful and a good kind person. So he rewarded him with 20 pieces of gold coins. And he also named a beautiful fountain in the city of Japan by the name of Taro. It was called Taro Fountain. So then the emperor also said that why he did this of giving the name of a fountain by Taro, it was to teach the other children to honor and obey and respect their parents. So this was to teach a lesson to all the children. So even we need to keep in mind and learn from this story that always respect your parents. Not only parents, your grandparents or any elders or your teachers or your principal, we need to respect them because they are the ones who are taking care of you and teaching you all the lessons of your life. So when you grow old, you need to take care of your parents. So keep in mind, children, that always obey and respect your elders. So, dear children, I hope you've understood this story, and your little homework for this part is please try to read this chapter by yourself. So, thank you and have a nice day.